You've spoken before about the very powerful circumstances of your childhood.
I knew that I wanted to be a lawyer, well, certainly by the time I was 7. My father had told me, even at that young age, that lawyers were the only thing that could keep terrible things from happening in a civilized society.
What do you mean?
Well, what happened in Nazi Germany, then what happened in Russia. We see today what may be happening in Egypt. That's what he was talking about. Because the constitutions as written were certainly in place, but there weren't enough individuals brave or courageous enough to insist that those constitutions not just be empty words.
What should they have done?
I think if enough good people stand up against tyranny, tyrants back down. Tyrants really are bullies, aren't they, when you get to the very bottom of it all? But I had parents, particularly my father. He would say to me, you're going to have to make a difference. You're going to have to show the world how wrong it was not to step in harder and faster.
Tell me about becoming a judge.
Becoming a judge, when I was in law school in the early 60s, there had only been 2 women federal judges in the history of the United States. I dreamt about getting a job because I was seeing my fellow women law students, of whom there were so few, going to work as legal secretaries. And that is not in any way to denigrate legal secretaries. But once you've gone to law school to become a lawyer, that is what you are hopeful your career path will be. And it wasn't. And even the women who were lawyers, there were only a few fields where they were accepted. When I was at Georgetown, a woman ran the Legal Aid Bureau in Washington, D.C. She was always looking for students to help her. And she was happy to help other women. So I got experience. There was a program where we could actually go to court. We saw clients. And I was so happy to have the leftovers, so to speak, because the jobs in the law firms and, the jobs with the senators and congressmen weren't there for us to be legal interns. They just weren't available.
How did you become a judge?
To become a judge, lightning has to strike. And I had powerful mentors.
Governor Thompson.
Governor Thompson, and then he introduced me to Senator Percy and Senator Dixon. Judge Wood was becoming a senior judge, and he wrote to the president and said, no woman has ever been on this court, and it is time. And there I was. I'd had my apprenticeship as a district judge. So my timing all along was right. You see, I graduated from law school, and what did I do? I retired because there weren't jobs. And when I went back into the workforce, the Civil Rights Acts had been passed, and everyone was looking for women.
I'm wondering if there were points in your career, either when you were practicing or as a judge, where you saw the importance of civility and professionalism as opposed to the opposite.
I'm just heartbroken when I see lawyers who don't show the proper respect for the other person, for his or her adversary. I just love it when after an argument the two lawyers shake hands. It just makes my heart swell.
When you were on the district court, did you ever have an opportunity to intervene when lawyers before you were not behaving in a civil manner?
Always. I would just stop all of the proceedings and say, look, we're in this together and we're all going to behave here. And we're going to be kind to each other. Because, bottom line, that is what it's all about. And I sanctioned heavily for real incivility. I mean, I think many people sadly don't understand anything except punishment. And I have a job for life. So if I don't have the courage to maybe not be loved by everyone that comes across me, I don't know who should.
What do you think the importance of pro bono is to our society?
Well, it shows the care and devotion to those less fortunate. And isn't that what a civilized society is supposed to be all about? Every time a lawyer comes in appointed by the court to represent an indigent criminal defendant, I see hope. I see these lawyers pouring their hearts into losing cases, caring. I see them pouring their hope into cases that win, too.
You have had so very many accomplishments, but what from your heart are you the most proud of?
In my heart of hearts, I honestly do believe I do the best I can. Above all, I truly want to be a good and decent person. Nothing else really matters.